Church of Christ in Marion. The yard sale this morning and food bank giveaway. So you go by the Greater Highway Church of Christ in Marion and tell them that you heard it right earlier. Saturday morning gospel start time once again. The yard sale and food giveaway. Greater Highway Church of Christ in Marion. Thank you for tuning in early. Saturday morning gospel start time. Let's switch over to Studio B and say good morning to Brother Michael Jenkins, and you have a guest in the studio with us. Good morning.
I don't know it.
You forgot. Well, okay. Well, let me introduce you. This is, what's your name?
Michael Jenkins.
And
And
this is Dee Sportswrap.
this is Dee Sportswrap.
We need a little practice, but we'll be okay down the road. Anyway, folks, I got my little buddy here with me today. He insisted that he come, and I don't know what he's going to do while I'm here, but he's interested in radio. He's interested in hanging out with his grandpa, and hence here we are. Tater, can we lower that a little bit, please? Well, what I want to do today is I want to recap the NCAA tournament, recap the boys, the women, and the men, and then get a little deeper in some other things that's going on right now. But the men's Final Four consisted of Florida, Duke, Auburn, and Houston. Now, of this four, I picked Auburn to win, and that didn't happen. Duke is the only team in the Final Four that I didn't want to win, and thank goodness they didn't. Good morning, Kelvin Williams. Good morning, Andre Goodson. Good morning, Kevin Pathay. Glad you all joined me this morning. In the end, Florida Gators national champs as they knocked off Houston. Houston had this game kind of pretty much on lock, but they couldn't get it done. And they lost the lead down the stretch, and before you know it, the Florida Gators cut the nets down. Florida Gators, another SEC team doing well over the years. They have, I think this will be their third national championship, and the SEC overall did extremely well during the tournament as well. Duke was the favorite by many people's estimations. A lot of people like Duke. I don't. And so it was a big thrill for me to see them not win. Houston, I wanted to see Lumbee Nation win. Kelvin Sampson, that's who I was pulling for, but unfortunately it didn't happen. Mama Ship, good morning. Meet Mikey, my grandson. The women's Final Four consisted of University of Connecticut, South Carolina Gamecocks, Texas, and UCLA. And the Gamecocks got to the final game against UConn, and they were pretty much no match for UConn, as UConn pretty much ran roughshod over them. So that happened there. UCLA, I didn't see their game. I know that the Gamecocks had beaten Texas, and to advance to the finals. The big story coming out of the South Carolina versus UConn loss is superstar. I say superstar. A lot of people want to call her trash now, all of a sudden. Malaysia Fulwiley, and how she has decided to enter the portal. And for those of you who don't know what the portal is basically free agency. They basically declared themselves a free agent, college style. And she's going to be out, or it looks like she will be. But there's a lot of talk going on about her imminent departure. A lot of people aren't happy about it. I know I'm not happy about it. Malaya Fulwiley played since she was in the 7th grade. And I'm going to give you a little bit of information on what this looked like for her. And let's see, here she is. Now, this is her high school career. And I thought she had played from 8th grade on, but turns out she played from the 7th grade. And that was in the year 17 through 18. She played 5 games that year. She still averaged 11.6 a game. Is this real? Yeah. Yeah, she scored 11.6, picked off 2-3 rebounds a game, 5 assists. And even as a 7th grader, she was getting 6.5 steals a game. Moving on to her 8th grade year, she played 24 games. Her average went from that 11.6 to 19.7. 4.8 rebounds per game, 4.9 assists per game. Everything okay?
They go get tissue.
Oh, go ahead then. Go ahead. Bring your grandson to work. That's what happens. You never know what to expect. Anyway, as I said, as an 8th grader, she did those things. In her freshman year, she played 25 games, and she went to 26.4 points per game, 4 defensive rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds, for a total of 7.3 rebounds as a freshman, 6.3 assists, and 6.1 steals. Her 10th grade year, in 2020 to 21, 16 games played. I think she might have been injured. Oh, was that the pandemic year? Could have been. She averaged 25.9, 3.1, 2.7 offensive rebounds, 5.7 total rebounds, 6.9 assists, 5.2 steals. And then in her junior year, she averaged 30, 9, 6, and 4. As a senior, she played 27 games. She averaged 24.6, 8.1 rebounds, 6.6 assists per game, 5.7 steals. So, she moves on to the Gamecocks, and she played, as it turns out now, 2 years with them. And where's my grandson going? Okay. So she played 2 years for the Gamecocks. And some folks are saying, you know, she didn't progress a lot from one year to the next. And so 2023, 2024, she played in 38 games. She averaged 18.4 minutes a game, 11.7 points, 2.9 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 1.7 steals, 0.7 blocks, 1.7 turnovers. Now, the people who are here criticizing this girl are talking about she's a turnover machine. This doesn't suggest that. Yes, she is flashy in her play. She plays an up-tempo style. She plays wide open. Apparently, that's not what her coach wanted or needed. So, 2 years, she did these things through the tournament. And this is when it really got my attention, because I really have not been paying attention that much to the Gamecock girls. But during this championship, or this come-up short championship run, first game they played against Indiana, she played 10 minutes. Next game against Maryland, which was her best game of the tournament, she played 21 minutes. And in that game, she scored 23 points, had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and they won. And I saw most of that game, and they would not have won without her. George Phillips, good morning, how are you? Leslie Roberts, Miko Pickett, the mayor. K.M. Hemingway, good morning. George says, Full Wally needs more playing time somewhere. Yeah, I agree with that, bro. And I'm
Playtime. Playtime somewhere.
I'm reading what he's saying right there. Wallace Brown, good morning. How are you? Now, a lot of people are not happy with the fact that looks like she'll be moving on. And it's kind of like a pattern here with Dawn and her recent South Carolina recruits. Now, you remember Talasia Cooper from down in Tuberville. You know, she was nationally ranked, one of the best players coming out of high school that year. Great player. Well, she went to the Gamecocks as well. And she only lasted 1 year. Now she's playing for Tennessee. People are speculating, where's Malaysia going to go? Some people are saying maybe she won't even leave. I don't believe that. It's possible, but I don't believe it. Now, you think about Dawn and her history with backcourt players. Dawn was a backcourt player herself, and an outstanding one too, by the way. But for some reason, flashy type players out of the backcourt doesn't really work for her. Good morning, Miss Dolores Williams. How are you? Yeah, say good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I thought last year that, okay, it was her freshman year, you know, she'll get it together, Dawn will see the value in her, and then she'll become the superstar that we all know. But this year, as I read you just now, the minutes that she plays and all that, she's still not getting on the floor half the game. People are saying, okay, well, Dawn likes a real point guard. Dawn likes a point guard that does point guard things. Malaysia is a point guard, a scorer, a rebounder, a defender. She really has the whole package. But this little girl, Raven, somebody, was the starter. And I don't have anything against this kid. But when I see Malaysia sitting on the sideline and them getting, having struggles offensively, it makes me wonder what's really going on here. Now, that's two players, two potential legendary players on the high school level in our state that she couldn't set horses with. It's really strange. Now, she has the Joyce Edwards is another, maybe one of the 3 top female recruits to ever come out of South Carolina. She's in the mix right now. Dawn seems to be handling her a little bit better, but she ain't a point guard, even though she can play point. She's a forward. And I think of Dawn's philosophy, it seems like, is very similar to what the Tar Heels did. The Tar Heels weren't a guard school either. I remember many high-flying guards came to North Carolina, McDonald's All-America, big-time scorers, multi-athletes, multi-sport athletes, and they never got better after they got there. I felt like Raymond was going down the same rabbit hole as well when he went there. But I remember his dad told me he had a talk with the administration about his son's play and minutes and all those things. And his ability to do things out there, be creative. And a change was made, and Raymond thrived in spite of. Unfortunately, it hasn't been that way for these South Carolina players. I don't know what happens now with this girl. I know my son was really crazy about her all through high school. I was a fan of Talasia, and he was a fan of Fulwiley. And after time, I really saw what he was talking about. But Marion folks will remember that she played against Marion in the state championship games several years ago. And it was obvious then that this girl was different. as good as Marion's team was, they were overwhelmed by her. I seen her do a move this year that was, it was like an Allen Iverson move. I don't know what she did. All I know is it had my mouth drop wide open. And she did it with ease, too. So, this is where we are right now with Full Wally. I wish her luck. I know many of you, most of you do as well. But the talk, some of the talk was negative about her. And I really didn't appreciate that. One guy said, oh, she's a turnover machine. One guy said, oh, she really, she plays out of control. If this girl is on my team, if I took the trouble to go get her, then she's going to play. She's going to play. She's going to be on the floor for me. From what I've seen from the Gamecocks, she's going to be on the floor for me before any of those other guards that I've seen touch the floor. But instead, here she is, languishing, and they talk about an inconsistency. Well, if you inconsistently on the floor, you're going to be inconsistent when you get on the floor. That's a no-brainer right there. I don't know why you recruit someone with this kind of skill set if you really don't want him. Talasia, Cooper, same thing. Why would you recruit them? Just to say you recruited South Carolina's best? Well, you ain't keeping them. George Phillips says, top 2 scorers on the bench, Edwards and Full Wally. I mean, that is unusual. And maybe just by virtue of that, you should see, wow, I really got something here. Wow, I need to let this girl play. But instead, she didn't. And now, thank goodness for the portal, she can now leave without penalty. She can now leave and go play somewhere else without being penalized for leaving or for making a move. Now, where's she going to go? I'm going to tell you something. When I think about University of Connecticut, and I think about the team that they have, and I think about the fact that Connecticut just smoked the Gamecocks 2 times this year, and the fact that now Full Wally is available, I can see Gino reaching out to her. Now, I prefer she went to Tennessee or somewhere closer, but she could end up in wherever. Dawn's philosophy is her philosophy. Good luck to Malaysia. Yeah, it is, Kelvin. I mean, her philosophy is her philosophy, and it's been successful. It's been successful. I'm kind of talking right now, buddy. Yeah, I'm kind of talking right now. Yeah, I agree with what you said, Kelvin. It is her philosophy, and coaches, she didn't pick up that philosophy overnight. I mean, it's her whole life. I get it. But if this is your philosophy, and you know that this kind of talent does not fit into your philosophy, don't recruit it. Don't recruit it. I mean, that's all I'm saying. But okay. Let's move on and talk about the portal. And I read something here where there are, it was a crazy number. Mikey,
What?
Tone it down, buddy. Where they said, I think over 2,500 men's college basketball players are now in the portal. Is the portal good? I mean, I think that freedom with college basketball now, it being more kids are able to move around a little bit better, and also they're getting paid. I don't have a problem with the money part. I've been wanting them to have the money part for a long time. But all of this movement, it's almost like pro sports free agency. I don't think a kid should play for 4 different schools during their college career. I mean, I'm a little bit old school that way. And I believe, man, is there a limit to it? SC says no. No what, SC? But should a kid be in school that long and that well traveled as a collegian? That makes me a little bit uncomfortable. But it's amazing that we've gone all the way back in the day, and we have, when it was terrible, when the players had no options, and they weren't getting any money of any kind, to this, which I think is totally flipped completely. I want them to have freedom. And as far as money, I want them to get some money and be able to support themselves while they are amateur athletes. But when is enough enough? When do we start looking at this thing as getting out of hand? I mean, I don't know. What do you folks think about that? But personally, I believe right now we're at the point where they can't go any further with this. It's really kind of getting out of hand to me. And I like to see it more uniformed. I like to see it not as crazy. Yes, freedom is good, money is good, but when is enough enough? I heard a lot of people talking about the tournament and how they were upset because there wasn't a lot of upsets. You know, people have become accustomed to seeing upsets and wanting them. And over the last 10 years, 15 years or so, we've had a number of upsets, including the mythical number 16 knocking off a 1. That's happened. But they want more upsets. I really enjoyed the tournament this year. I hadn't watched basketball except high school until the tournament started. Pro basketball, college basketball, I saw no games. But after I watched that first day of the tournament, I think it was the play-in or whatever, I'm back into basketball now. And I watched the rest of the tournament basically the rest of the way. I didn't need upsets, but I saw some great games, saw some great talented players out there, and even down to the last game, it was a battle. That's what I look for. Marcus Johnson of Marion says, let me see what Marcus says. Marcus always has interesting stuff to say. He's a thinker. Switching schools every year. That's funny, Marcus. Marcus said switching schools every year. How are they ever earning a degree? That's a good question. Maybe a degree is not the priority anymore. I don't know. Even though Dolores Cross went there and got his degree, got it early. So if you go there with the idea of wanting a degree, I agree, Marcus, it would be kind of tough to get one if you switch in schools every year. That'd be a problem. Now, this is probably the most important news of the week to me in involving high school sports in South Carolina. And that is that the state championships, which had been held in Florence for the past couple of years, will be matriculating back to Columbia. I want to congratulate Florence. They did a great job the last couple of years with this tournament. For the locals here, it was a gift because we're right down the street from Florence, and we didn't have to travel 250 miles round trips to see the state tournament. Now, I read some things in a friend of mine, Terrell Pinkney's sports group, and, oh, wait a minute. There was a very interesting choice of words used by, let's see, they were talking about it's just terrible that the people in the upstate, they had to travel so far to see their teams. You didn't see that as a problem for us, right? But it's a problem for you. Poor you. And all through the couple of years that this thing was held in Florence, man, they never shut up. I don't know why Powdersville has to play Wren. They have to go all the way to Florence to play against Wren when they are right down the road from each other. Who plays a home game in a state championship? That was one of the more ridiculous arguments. But I loved going to Columbia every year to watch the state tournament. I have no problem going forward doing that. It was a great little thing for us here, a little moment in time that we enjoyed. And I'm not making any excuses for it. I'm glad it came here. Why did it come here in the first place? Because somebody up there dropped the ball. Maybe the Colonial Center, somebody dropped the ball. Somebody put the tournament out there in the crosshairs where they could be hijacked to somewhere else. Now, the good thing is that the Civic Center or the Florence Center will still host the lower state games. And after all that we've seen the last couple of years, it won't quite be the same. But I'm good with that. I'm good that the Midlands and the upstaters don't have to come all the way down here to Florence. Thank goodness for that. But the NBA playoffs and everything is about to jump off. And I'm going to say right now, I know I've been kind of bad-mouthing the Lakers a little bit, but the Lakers look good right now. I was talking about their defense. Their defense looks good right now. I don't know if it'll hold up, but right now, they're going to give everybody out there in the West a tussle. I'm kind of okay with where my Warriors are right now. They still don't have enough size as far as I'm concerned, but the Jimmy Butler thing really helped them out immensely. And Jimmy Butler's a big game player. He's a playoff type guy, and I think they'll be fine. There are going to be some issues with matchups that's not going to be in their favor. But as long as I have Steph Curry on my side, win or lose, I'm good. Dallas versus the Lakers the other night. Anthony Davis, Lord help him, Lord love him, but he looked a mess the other night. And the guy that he was traded for, Luka, is the new guy for the Lakers. He took over. Everything that the Lakers run now basically run through Luka. Now, Luka's problem to me is defense. And I think when the Lakers lose, and I expect that they will, their defense will still be the reason that they get beat. Anyway, folks, thanks for joining me this morning. I'll be back next week with more. Have a wonderful, safe week. Peace.